So if we then move to the end of the process or later stages, what's your take on the presentation phase, the testing phase, however they like to play? What's your perception on that?
By presentation and testing, you're saying presentation, having the exec package all of this stuff into something that where they play back their vision in front of the board, in front of the hiring committee, whatever it may be. Is that what you mean by presentation?
Yeah, there's a lot of love for the what would you do in the first 90 days? How would you grow the
Yeah.
business? How do you take it to an exit?
Um, I would say there is some value in having an executive give you a picture of what their intellectual plan and path is for the business. I think if you went through a process without having the exec say, based on all that I've learned about this business, here's how I'm thinking about my first 90 or 100 days or whatever it may be. That said, just understand that that's relatively cheap talk. What I would say is that that is prone to false positives. It's not prone to false negatives, but it is prone to false positives.
Mm.
Meaning, an exec can give you a great story about what they would do. I'm going to present you the plan, my vision for how we push this company forward. If you get a great answer, do not mistake that for a great candidate. What this question really is about is making sure we don't clearly have a bad candidate. If somebody gives you a plan that is not good, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't add up, that's not consistent with what we know needs to be done in the business, I think you have clearly ruled out this candidate. The failure mode there is thinking that we have a good candidate because the answer was good.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's take another important skill in private equity: accountability,
Mm.
holding self and others accountable in a humane, personal way. But knowing that their expectations that we hit or we don't, and there's great things that happen if we hit, and there are consequences if we don't. Having somebody say, in my first 90 days, we are going to get real on accountability. We're going to cascade metrics across the organization. We're going to establish OKRs or some program like that. And we're going to have everyone on plans for either meeting those or not, and blah, blah, blah. Somebody who is conflict avoidant, who struggles to hold others accountable, can present you a perfectly valid, awesome sounding little pitch on what they would do. That's the false positive that we need to steer clear from. If I had to put a bow on the thing around presentation, don't overinvest in it. I would spend the majority of our time evaluating exec, learning about them and their path, learning about the facts, and steering clear of too much of the, call it cheap talk, prognostication about the future. On the testing thing, different clients of ours have different inclinations on this. I generally have not seen testing to be like a really valuable, this is a go, no go. So someone's done X or Y, whether it's an aptitude test, a psychometric test. We all know the big names. I've rarely seen those be like, this made the decision one way or the other. I think it could be a useful lens to help you know where to dig in with a candidate in terms of interviewing and where they've been and what they've done. So it's like a tool, and it provides a nice kind of alternate lens to view the human being.
Mm.
But I really feel like when people build skill in the art and science of great interviewing and great referencing, they free themselves to be less reliant upon these other things: over-reliance on resumes, overuse and over-application of testing, certainly overuse and over-application of these performances and presentations. The better you get with interviewing, the more confident you can be in making data-driven decisions without a lot of these other things.